morning, guys, and welcome to the start of my historical romance readathon reading weekend vlog. That's a mouthful. This vlog is dedicated to the historical romance readathon happening this weekend that is hosted by my friends Jessica, Lacey, and Lisa. As you know, if you are a romance fan or if you are tapped into Bookstagram, they are hosting this readathon because they are huge historical romance lovers. And I just recently finished my first ever historical romance novel. I loved it, and so I thought that this readathon would be a perfect reason for me to dive back into that subgenre. Obviously, since I've only ever read one book, I am still a complete newbie, so thought this would be fun. I've got a couple of book options that I am leaning toward, and in addition, the lovely ladies have created this really cute kind of bingo card where the goal, I guess, is to read a historical romance novel that checks off one or as many of these categories as possible. So let me go ahead and show you the book options that I have. So I'm actually juggling between three options. There is the group read that they have, Lady Sophia's Lover, which I have on both ebook and audiobook. And then I've got two physical copies of books that I picked up semi-recently from Half Price Books. Love that place. And so, okay, so first one we've got is Tessa Dare. She was actually the author of the first historical romance novel that I read, When a Scot Ties a Knot, and I loved it. This one, Do You Want to Start a Scandal, is basically about a woman named Charlotte who has been caught up in this rumor mill about who was hooking up with who, and unless she can find out who the real couple was, she's going to be forced to marry Piers Brandon, Lord Granville. Is that one name? I don't know. Clearly I'm still new to the genre, guys. But anyway, I read the first couple of pages of this one and I thought it sounded really cute. And then also there's kind of like that mystery element in it, which you guys know I love mystery. So to have that kind of tossed into historical romance, I think would be an interesting twist. So the other option that I am leaning towards is Lisa Kleypas's Mine Till Midnight. This is actually the first book in her famous Hathaway series, which I've heard so much about for so many years. I don't even know how many books are in this series, but all I know is that I want to start with the first one. I happened to stumble across it in HPB, and so I knew I had to grab it. So this one, from what I can tell, is about the oldest daughter named Amelia. Her family just recently inherited a lot of money, and so they are trying to navigate their newfound wealth, and Amelia is trying to tend to her younger sisters, kind of look after them. And she comes into contact with a handsome rogue named Cam Rohan. Apparently he is this wealthy, dark, brooding, handsome type. And so I guess she has feelings for him, but at the same time she is looking for friendship. I don't really know, but really all I need to know is that it's the first book in the Hathaway series, and so I really want to read it. So any of these books will obviously satisfy the bingo option, but as it stands, I think I'm leaning more towards the Lisa Kleypas novel just because I'm more excited to dive into the Hathaway series. And from what I can tell, looking at this bingo sheet, it seems to check off more boxes than the other book. So let's see, Lisa Kleypas novel, check. Has a step back, check. Part of a series, check. It doesn't have purple on the cover because obviously, let me grab it, it's blue, but it is a new to me author because I also haven't read her, so that satisfies 4 out of 9, which isn't bad. I don't think this was published before 2000, no, 2007. So yeah, it satisfies 4 of the cards. I think that's great. Obviously, if I happen to get through this before the weekend is out, I will pick up another one of the options, but for now, that's what we're gonna go with. So I'm gonna dive into that and check in with you guys in a little bit. Okay, so I am back with an update about Mine Until Midnight. I am about not too far. I really like it so far, though I have a feeling I need to dig into it more because there's all of this like character development and just kind of laying the foundation for the series itself. As for Amelia, I like her very much, though I think that it's really interesting to see kind of like this big sister character. I'm an only child, so I don't know what that's about. But to see it play out and her taking care of her younger sisters, I think is really endearing. It obviously shows that she is a kind-hearted person. Now, as for our, is he a lord? I don't know. I'm still trying to learn this lingo. As for our hero, so apparently even though he is this dark, brooding, and rich guy, he actually comes from a poor upbringing. He is actually a gypsy, and so I don't remember how he got his wealth. However, he does have these kind of like uncouth roots, so to speak, and so I have a feeling that that is going to come into play somewhere down the line in this book. But yeah, so far so good. I'm really enjoying it. And it's really interesting because I'm hoping that once I get through this one, it will give me the impetus to continue through the series, specifically so that I can listen to the Hathaway podcast. I know there is a podcast all about chronicling the romance series, and I want to listen to it, but I didn't want to listen to it now because spoilers, obviously. So yeah, that's another goal for me, finishing this book and continuing with this series. Okay, so if you're wondering why I'm sitting on the ground, I had to switch up my seating position because I realized everywhere or almost everywhere that I filmed has been inside of my house, which probably isn't the most interesting for a vlog, but hey, it's real. This is what we get when it is summertime in Atlanta and it's freaking nearly 100 degrees. I don't go outside a lot, so in the house is where I'm comfortable. My air conditioning is a savior, and it's cold enough for me to drink tea. So anyway, who cares? So let's talk about the book. One of the things that I wanted to bring up, or that has stood out to me, is the Romani words that are sprinkled within the book. I think it's so interesting when characters of different cultures kind of intersperse their native tongue into things. I wanted to see if I can find an example. Okay, so here's one here. Go to bed, Monisha, you look weary. So I'm going to obviously have to go by context clues with this one and assume that Monisha means like my love or something. Obviously, if you speak Romani, let me know in the comments if that is not right. However, yeah, it's little touches like that that I think really enhance the book, especially when it comes to historicals. One of my concerns reading historicals is that I will be lost as a reader. Obviously, these are time periods that I'm not familiar with, and so getting kind of like my grounding into where I am and what's going on and the language, that's always been a slight concern of mine. However, with this one, yet again, I am proven wrong. That is not something that I have to be too concerned with. And again, having like those little sprinklings of cultural references and historical references while also being written in a way to where I can understand is something that I appreciate, and I totally get why historical romances are so popular. I mean, I'm sure that's the entire point of having a historical romance readathon. So yes, I am a convert. And it doesn't help that I have FOMO, and so anytime I watch Lisa's videos, Lacey's videos, Samantha's videos, Jess's videos, oh my gosh, you girls have influenced me so much. So I have a feeling I am going to start binging them because I love it so much. Also, the cover. Let's just take a quick moment to talk about how gorgeous it is. Historical romances, I feel, are one of the genres that are known for their covers, between like the stepbacks and the quintessential poses. And even though there's not a male in this one, it's still very quintessential, I would say. Obviously, we've got this gorgeous royal blue going on, which I am a huge fan of. And if you are a historical romance fan and you're watching this, I already know what you want, girl. I know you want me to open this up to show you the step back, so let me go ahead and take you out of your misery. Okay, clearly it was too gorgeous because I exhausted my camera talking about this. But yeah, isn't this gorgeous? I mean, obviously here now we've got the dude, but this like pose that they're in and her dress and this backdrop, like they're outside, right? So anyway, classic. And then we've got a little silk here, but yeah, that's definitely something that I completely understand. Wanting to buy books strictly because of the covers, because they're gorgeous and sitting on the shelf in a collection. Don't let my husband hear me talk about this because he refuses to let me basically cover every empty wall in our house with a bookshelf, and if I had one of those, that's exactly what I would do. Anyway, so I guess that's a little bit of an update. I'm still trekking along, still enjoying this, but yeah, I didn't realize that I hadn't talked about like the cover and stuff yet, so I wanted to mention that. Oh, and of course like the gold sheen here. Oh, it's just so beautiful. All right, I'm gonna go continue reading. Just checking in to give you an update about where I am so far. I am a little over halfway through, and I actually just got to the part where Cam asked Amelia to marry him, but she ended up fainting, which I thought was hilarious. And of course it's not because he proposed to her, but more so because she hasn't had anything to eat. But talk about terrible timing. Anyway, obviously I am chugging along. I am wondering if I can finish it by the end of the day, but I'm not putting any kind of pressure on myself because I do have a couple of errands to run, so I will be out and about. But yeah, vlogging during quarantine, especially in the summer when I don't want to be out and about, has proven a little bit challenging. I've had to be a little creative on where I am reading just to like switch things up. So obviously you can see that I'm in my dining room. Andrew's in the back painting. So that's why there's all this stuff on the table, but that's fine. It's given me an opportunity to look at our house from different angles, so I guess that's a good thing. But yeah, I'm gonna keep reading. I'm actually gonna go make myself a glass of the juice that I made earlier today. Something light, something refreshing other than water. And yeah, I will, I guess, update you guys in a little bit. So I'm back with a bit of an update. I actually went out, obviously, because I finally got dressed, put on jeans in the first time in who knows how long. But anyway, wanted to give you guys an update because I did switch gears a little bit. Well, not a little bit. switched gears and started a new book. I actually put down Mine Until Midnight, not because I'm not enjoying it, but because I wanted to at least try and sneak in the beginnings of another book that I had on my TBR for this weekend. So I ended up starting the audiobook for Lady Sophia's Lover. This is also by Lisa Kleypas, and I'm really enjoying it so far. In fact, I am surprised at how far along I've gotten considering how short of a time I've been listening to it. I'm actually already on chapter 7, and again, really liking it so far. It is different than Mine Until Midnight, which I appreciate. I will be honest, I had no idea what this book was about going into it. All I knew was that it was the group pick, and I wanted to be sure to add it to my list. So, so far for the book, don't remember the character's name just yet, but I'll give you guys a quick rundown about what it's about and how far I've gotten into it. So basically what we have is a lady who goes to this guy who's kind of like this old school detective. I'm sure there's a proper name for it, but again, I'm new to historical, sue me. Anyway, so she goes to him proposing that she be hired for his assistant, and he's extremely reluctant because she's basically unfit for the role simply because that she is a woman. They are not used to women being in this kind of crime and violent environment, but she insists. She says that she's capable of doing the job, and he hires her reluctantly. Now, what's interesting is that she presents herself as like this capable but yet very demure lady, very quiet, very genteel, and we see from his point of view that that quality in her is something that he is drawn to, kind of like her quiet beauty and all of that. However, once homegirl lands the job, she has like a personal monologue that we end up hearing, where all along this was her grand plan to basically infiltrate the guy and his work, to get back at him and to get back at this organization, because she blames him and the organization in general for, was it her brother's death? Someone in her family who she's close to. But basically she's playing the long con for revenge. And it's interesting because, again, I had no idea going into it what this book was about, but she even had me fooled along with the hero about her being, you know, just yet another historical romance, quiet, genteel, ladylike character. And in fact, she's got this whole revenge plot, and she is in fact, you know, sassy and outspoken, but she has to hide all of those natural qualities to her to just continue playing that role so that she can basically make our hero fall in love with her so she can destroy him. I love me a good revenge plot, and to see it play out in a historical, I guess you would call this maybe Regency era, it's really interesting to look at. And obviously I've never seen, or I've never read a book like this, mostly because this is only my third historical novel. But anyway, that said, even though I'm only on chapter 7, it's actually pretty action-packed so far. Can we call it action-packed? Yeah, it's fine. It's historical, but it's more action than I was realizing, because there's this one scene in particular that happens pretty early on in the book. I want to say like chapter 4, where the inmates, or are they inmates? Basically the bad guys try to infiltrate, or do infiltrate, the building that she is in, and they are violent and all of this commotion is going on, and the hero has to basically save her, and yet that makes her start to look at him in a different light, because it's like, can you really be that evil if you're saving me from all of these bad men? So I don't know, she's already starting to question her intent and his character and all of that. So I know what's going to happen at the end, that they're going to get together. But again, with romance, it's all about the journey. So that said, I am probably going to have this vlog come to a close, sadly, just because I've got a couple of things to do and I really want to start editing this video. But I hope you guys enjoyed following along with me this weekend. The historical romance readathon for me at least was a success, because before this I had only ever read one historical ever, and the fact that I've already gotten 2 partially new ones under my belt, I am on track to keep going because I have started to become a fan of the genre. If you participated, please feel free to link your video if you plan on doing one, or at least let me know in the comments what books you ended up reading. I know there are a whole bunch of ladies who are planning to participate in this, and I saw so many good book recommendations. I just didn't write them down because I was too busy scrolling Instagram and just seeing everybody's story. But Anyway, if you like this video, please like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like it. And yeah, I'm gonna get back to reading. I think I'm actually going to continue the audiobook just because I'm so drawn into it so far. Then I'll probably switch back till mine until midnight. So in the meantime, happy reading, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!